A blessed evening, a blessed day to all of you, especially those who are worshiping with us in the shrine of Jesus the Divine Word through this live streaming. The road to freedom is never a straight path. It is often tortuous, full of twists. We have seen this in our own history as a people, as a country. It is not just a simple removing one and putting another. As some would claim, para mo lang, ang nangyari ay parang aso na pinalitan mo lang ng collar, pareho pa rin dating gawi, sabi nga ng mga iba. Due to frustrations of how the country is managed, some sectors advocate, for example, radical and even violent means, which leads, of course, to further problems. Even now, the way we think, some people think of the experience of freedom, democracy, for example, that others would advocate the return of a strong hand to rule the country, etc. The road to freedom is never easy and straightforward. We see the same experience of the people of God after their liberation from slavery in Egypt. Their journey to the promised land was not without difficulties and controversies. They rebelled against God and Moses. The people of Israel suffered slavery. They wanted freedom and salvation, but they were not prepared to pay the price for it. They wanted it without any effort and sacrifice. That is why they wanted to change the plans of God, of how God should liberate them and bring them to the promised land. But to move away from the design of God has disastrous consequences. It is not that God punishes, as sometimes the popular view insinuates. No, it is not God who punishes. In the light of Christ, we understand that it is not God who sends punishments, but rather we hurt ourselves and we take the path of death when we separate from God, who is the fountain of life. In this story, in the book of Numbers, we see that God is not the author of death. In fact, the contrary is true. It is He who saves us from death and does it. And who does it is but and He finds a remedy to this problem, to this sickness. The bronze serpent is a figure, a prophetic symbol of the cross, as taught by the church fathers in the early church, that they saw in that image of a bronze serpent in the desert as the image, the figure, the symbol of the cross of Christ, through which God saves us from death. And with the death of the Son of God, we became free. Like the people of Israel, who failed many times to lift up their freedom and liberty because of not wanting to pay the price of it and not allowing God to guide them. These many times is also our story. Mas magaling pa tayo sa Diyos. Minsan, we want to impose our terms, our will to God. Thanks to the obedience of Christ, the Son of God, who gained for us salvation through His obedience to the Father's will. As He would repeatedly say, "It is not my will, but your will be done, Father." May Jesus' obedience, trust, and confidence to the Father be also our example, our inspiration and guide as we journey towards our true freedom, the freedom of the children of God. And one who has Christ, who has God, one has gained the true freedom. And as we celebrate these days of preparation, we ask the Lord to help us recognize in Him our true freedom and keep Him near in our hearts and put Him at the center of our lives. For it is only Christ who can liberate us, can free us. And this is also our prayer to Him, to the crucified Lord. Lord, liberate our world from these pandemic and other evils that make us suffer so much. May the crucified Lord bring us freedom. Amen.